I got like some advice because like I'm trying to come forth with my apothecary and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did I tell you about my apothecary?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So pretty much, I wanted to put together this like healing sanctuary type of deal where it's like bodily wellness, spiritual wellness products and stuff like that. So of course I'm gonna have like things that make you feel good on the outside, like body butter, body oils, body scrubs, make you feel like clean and moisturized and soft and stuff. But also I wanted to incorporate things that you could access physically that would help internally. So I want to get my certificate in yoga, Reiki master, all that stuff. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but I kind of forgot what I was talking about. Oh, no. Okay, so yeah, I got, the apothecary. So, like, I now know, because I want it to be available for Black people first, of course, but I still want to market to everybody because I do want everyone to be my audience, but I know who I want to give back to at the end of the day as well. So
weird try to deal with, like, especially like you want to promote that you're Black owned, but you don't want to like push people away.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna promote the fact that I'm Black owned or woman owned.
Some people might buy it just because of that.
Yeah.
Well, but then you don't want to pigeonhole yourself as like, I'm the Black owned
yeah.
business. Check me out. Make sure you visit the Black section.
Like, hey, shop with my Black ass.
Right. But
So
so more about the apothecary, like, so what
Oh,
else?
okay. So I pretty much got the idea from a Reiki session that I got for myself. And during the time she was like the colors that I was seeing, she told me about first before I told her, like, oh shit, I was actually seeing those colors. Like every chakra she was over, she felt something. So then when she got to my heart chakra, my apothecary is called Anahata Apothecary. So Anahata is Sanskrit for basically heart, but it has like an actual meaning, like the unstruck sound, because your heart makes a sound without like having to like be beaten and things like that. So she was pretty much like, when it comes to my heart chakra, I need to engage in things that make me feel loved or love, you know what I'm saying? And that would be like, of course, wearing green, because green is the color of the heart chakra. Like whatever it is that makes me feel good, like internally and externally, that is actually healthy, because people be engaging in unhealthy ass habits and shit like that,
You gotta
so
like,
yeah,
your aura
your whole entire aura, like your full space, all of that. So on top of all of those things, of course, like I want to sell like herbs that you can either drink in or you know what I'm saying, like drink or like yoni steam, stuff like that. And because vaginal wellness, like you don't want to be out here with no
rocks.
you know what I'm saying, like it's very important. And I also want to incorporate herbs that tend to men's wellness as well. The colon is the most important for men, like colon cancer
that's
is
something that like hella men don't address.
They don't
or consider ever.
And
they
it's
just be out here eating hamburgers all the time.
Yo, like you're
hamburgers and steak.
You and eating the anus and the rectum, and yours is in trouble. Like, can you get it together? Like,
drinking no water,
nothing.
Doing all that, and then going to the gym.
Like, you gonna go to the gym and then come back and drink a 40. That's crazy.
People weird.
Crazy.
People weird. But then, like, I mean, vices will do you in. Like, people really all of their vices. You can be like, you could know all of the health shit to do, but then I'm still got my damn beer. You can't tell me. Even though like you might be like some nutritionist or some shit. It's like,
literally, like I'm skilled in this. How you gonna tell me?
Saying that as somebody who never goes to the bar. Like, I would think that people be going to the bar. People go to the bar. You been to a bar?
Oh, I'd be going to the bar.
Oh, I haven't been to the bar in a long time.
How is the bar?
I haven't been at the bar as of recent. You know, I've had my fair share of bar nights.
You gotta go back to the bar.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a bar one time. I tried. I tried. I tried to go. That was so
You went to a
awkward.
bar once?
Yeah. Yeah. And
It
it was weird.
was weird. It was actually a really weird experience.
Sweaty as shit. No, that bar.
That bar.
The bar where the nigga tried to like rap. Did he try to rap? He said something about black people.
He said something about black people. We were all black and they were white.
Yeah.
So it was just question marks popped up. You know,
Oh no.
I didn't know you was talking about that night.
Oh no.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, people weird. People
Yeah.
think that like you know deal with like racism or like black American shit in LA, but like I honestly hadn't experienced nothing like that until I moved here. And I'm from the South.
You're from Atlanta. You're from New Orleans.
So
Yeah,
was somebody
New
like
Orleans
trying to rap
and-
to y'all or something?
I forgot.
Well, he asked us. I think what happened was he asked us if we were rappers. Like if the men in the group were rappers, and we said why? Because we're black. And
Oh.
We was
what
black
were you
though.
really trying to say? And we were black, and you know some of us were rappers.
And some of us were rappers. They was right. That'd be crazy if the person was a fan. But then like he was trying to figure it out. It was like, are you guys rappers?
But it's
And then
also
it's
like
nah, nigga, why the fuck you asking if we rappers?
because at that point it's like if you know me, why you ain't just hey, are you know what I'm saying? Are you a rapper? It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's a weird question to ask somebody.
If you got to a group of white men, what would you say? Like,
Where
hey,
were
you
y'all when
guys,
this happened?
I don't know. Like,
Y'all do taxes or something?
do y'all do taxes?
Like,
guys
are you gonna
do
help me
taxes?
out?
What's a wait? Tax is not a white
Are
people
you
thing.
guys
That's an
police
everybody thing.
officers?
There we go. That's what white people we do. Do y'all hunt or some
Police
shit?
officers?
Yeah.
Y'all like be hunting?
Yeah.
Something. Yeah, no.
I ain't been hunting. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't lie. I have been hunting before.
I'd have thought about going hunting.
multiple times.
I'm not anti-hunting.
You know what? I have mixed feelings about it. Honestly, now that
Is it the animals or the killing or the killing the animals?
It was the killing of the animal.
Okay.
You know.
I mean, what else would you be killing?
But see, here's the thing. For people who have made the decision for their lives, like I'm gonna eat meat. Okay, you decided you prefer to eat meat. If you then make the decision to, be as close to the process as possible,
Right.
saying, okay, well, I want to eat meat sustainably. There are some people that will, slaughter a cow and have, beef for X amount of months, and that's a more sustainable way versus going to the grocery market.
Very true.
Yeah.
Who supports mass cow farms.
Right.
They're really just.
I feel like if you're gonna eat meat, you need to be okay with the process. Or
Exactly.
you should be
So-
willing to go through the process.
Exactly. And at the time I did eat meat, and so in my mind I'm like, okay, well, this is an opportunity for me to be closer to the process. Learned about hunting, learned how to shoot guns. It was all fun at the end of the day. It wasn't for me. But it was an experience. And I will say, for people who do eat meat, if you do have the opportunity to go on a hunting trip,
Out there with the pew pew.
Yeah, out there with the pew pew. See what really goes into it, okay?
Yeah.
Right?
Load the gun, shoot the pew pew,
Yeah.
and then make the pew pew hit the ammunition.
The animals.
Yep. And then if you miss, you can't eat.
Look.
You got you vegan if you can't shoot the animal for life.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to go like not hunting, but I definitely want to go back to like shooting targets and shit like that. Like I for sure want to get skilled in guns. I don't know why. Guns are nice.
I don't like guns.
You don't like guns?
I shot. I went to a gun range one time.
Oh.
I shot it. I was like, this shit weird. It's just too. I feel like that was the one time in my, like people chase the feeling of like oh my god, like I feel like that was the one time that I felt like I could control everything. I don't like that.
Okay.
I don't like the ability to be able to take someone's life.
Okay, yeah.
Like I don't think any human should have that power.
Yeah, no. I definitely wouldn't want a gun like just on me or around me for fun. but also at the same time, like, if I could control it, like a nigga trying to come up on me, you know what I'm saying? I think about this all the time. Like, I don't feel like I would shoot to kill.
I feel that.
Like, if I could shoot you in the leg or something, okay, I might paralyze your stupid ass, but I don't want to kill you. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I don't feel like I would be okay with just like shooting and aiming anywhere. Like, you know.
Yeah. I wish like I had the power to just turn people off. Like,
Yo!
just like you stop. You stop moving. You stop everything.
Like, you
over.
know, where your button at?
Over. Over. Just like the switch, and then that's it. Cause like I couldn't live with, even if I hated the person or if I felt like they needed to die, I couldn't do it. And then like my whole philosophy of like if someone's ever trying to kill me, if they was determined enough and they get close enough, or they made it up in their mind to decide to shoot me, then so be it. You know, cause like everyone's on a timeline. I'm not gonna like try to change my timeline.
Yeah. A lot of people try to fight that without realizing, like, you can, like, what's for you is always going to be for you. So you can prolong that shit, but you can't stop it actually coming to you and being for you whenever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love that you can't hide.
Right.
Exactly.
What's gonna be is gonna be.
Like, you're going to get it either way.
So what's both of y'all favorite color?
That's a good question. I like this color for sure.
What color?
I like yellow, and I like
The floor yellow?
this one.
Mustard yellow.
Yeah, mustard yellow.
I
It's
hate
cute.
mustard. I like mustard yellow. I hate
Mustard is cool sometimes, you know.
It's a
I
weird
like this
condiment.
type of yellow. Yellow, orange.
Press the
specifically.
button.
Word.
Oh.
Nice. Got the moonlight in there.
Oh yeah, and it
Buttons.
matches that one. Wait, are they both on the same?
haven't painted
Oh,
I noticed that too.
I miss him. He's so adorable.
that. He alright.
That's my son. He cool.
Yeah. I'm used to him. Y'all ain't used to him.
Kids are.
Kids are great.
What's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue.
Blue.
Blues are always.
What hue of blue?
Blue, I would say royal blue, cerulean blue.
Oh, wait.
I love turquoise, powder blue,
T-Quizzle.
T-Quizzle,
Mhm.
you know.
All of the blues. That's a lot of blues.
I love that song "Blue Lips" by Regina Spektor.
Oh, I don't know.
She
what
says
that one
blue is the most human color, and I really feel that.
Mm.
Great artist.
Yes.
Very great artist.
Hey.
Very great artist. I haven't heard that song.
Blue Lips.
What album was that on?
That is on. I can't remember the album name, but she's sitting at a piano. It's a drawing, and there's a blue balloon floating up from the piano.
The last album I listened to by her was I think "Begin to Hope,"
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah.
That had like Samson
Samson.
and stuff.
I love that one. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then before that, like I used to like spend like hella time watching, like she used to have like these like, or just on YouTube there would just be a bunch of performances like of her just at bars like playing shit like from before Begin to Hope and all that stuff. And
Yeah, she's dope.
cool person.
Yeah. All around.
Yeah.
Fidelity
Cool
was the
person.
first song I heard of hers. We were still in high school.
Yep.
And when I went to college, I started to listen to more of her music. Eat. I don't know if you know that
Mhm.
one. Eat's a really good one as well.
I need to
Her
catch up.
voice just
Get
does
on board.
you know, something to me.
Her voice is great.
Yes.
She's a really great writer.
Mm.
And she looks kind of like Fiona Apple.
Mm.
And anyone who looks
Yes, I
like
can see
Fiona
that.
Apple, I'm with that. So,
I'm with that. I'm in favor of it.
I'm cool with that.
Word.
Okay. Yeah, I need to get myself on board then.
Yeah, she cool. So blue.
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 Blue is my favorite color, yes.
Yeah.
Purple is a close second.
I mean, it's a cool color. It's
I
in
love
that. It's in
purple.
that family.
Purple's a beautiful.
Add a little bit of red to the blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, switch it up.
Color theory.
You know.
Right?
Mm.
Do y'all like painting?
It's alright.
It's alright.
It's cool or whatever.
I was like, that's why I stopped myself. I'm like, you want the long answer? Or the
I
short
do.
answer?
I do. I like so. For me,
Mm.
I don't like painting.
Mm-hmm.
I've been having to paint for stuff. I don't like that shit.
Man,
It take like I gotta keep rinsing the brush off, doing that. That's annoying. It's the most annoying thing ever. And then when you don't get the color right,
you gotta
then
go back to the drawing
and you
board
run out
to
of
place
fucking
more
paint.
paint.
It's the most frustrating thing ever because I'm used to just drawing some shit or erasing it and being done with it.
Yes, I would rather like run out of an eraser than to run out of paint.
Yeah,
like,
that shit frustrating.
Bro, erasers
So why you do it
last
though?
Forever. Honestly, I've been like drawing and sketching literally all my life. But I started painting when I was 17 because I was like, okay, I need to like I can start selling this shit. I need to like boss up. Like I want to paint now. And honestly, it happened out of me being bored one day, like literally fresh out of high school. I was still 17 and I lived in San Bernardino, which is extremely bankrupt. And you need to be like 18 and legal to get a job anywhere where they're going to give you good hours and pay you good money. So
I've never been out there.
It was like summer 2014. I was still 17, couldn't get a job anywhere. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start selling paintings. And I mean, I didn't really start selling my paintings until like 2018 for real.
But you committed to
I committed to that process. And it was tough at first because I'm thinking like, you know, I draw faces all day. I can like sketch, I can paint something. No. That process is totally different, and I've never taken like actual paint classes before. Like I think the closest thing I've taken to an art class, I was in like 7th grade and they were having us, you know, like just draw simple stuff like and learn a lot of terms like depth perception and things like that. And if it's closer to you, it's going to be a lot bigger than, you know, if I see the city over there, but I see these buildings over here, you know what I'm saying? Like that distance and stuff like that. And they had us learning the difference between like installations and things like that, and just that whole process. But yeah, I never really took classes, so I had to learn like trial and error for sure. Like
there's an art to that.
Yeah.
The creative arts, I feel like it is one of those few lanes where like you can go to school or you can be taught techniques, but you can also get to those same techniques through like life experience. And even
really knowing people who also do the same thing.
That's the best way to learn.
Like that, becoming like personal with other artists who really do it for real is even better than just taking a class in a room full of other people and having like these set days and hours as to when you can learn about what it is that you're doing, you know. So yeah.
why you think?
Beautiful. Yeah. I would say yes. Jazz hands. Jazz.
Bro, people used to do that to me in school.
People just walk up to you and do the jazz.
Yes. Somebody walked.
That's so corny.
It was somebody in my class, and like people used to like, you know, call me all types of variations of jazz, like jazzy.
Yeah, like people think that that's funny.
Yo, oh my God. And then like we were talking about jazz hands in class. We were talking about the movie, and then literally like whatever it is, like what is like not recess, but those like break periods or whatever between classes.
Yeah.
Somebody came up to me. Like, first off, can you get away from me because you're scaring me and I don't like it.
Like, dare walk up to me doing
get away from me. Like, we had the moment and it passed. Get out of here.
The only time you could do that is if I also do it back. And
literally.
It's like, okay, cool.
Like, that's
we bonded.
Weird. But we not even bonding. Like, I don't even talk to you outside of class. We don't hang
jazz
out
hands
outside.
me.
Like, don't jazz hands me.
Fuck you think this is?
That's weird.
Sis. But no, I used to get the same thing too though, because my last name is Horton. People coming to me, Mary, have you heard your who today? First of all.
Come on, you picked the easiest joke to make.
Wasn't one of the characters named Mary too? Or am I tripping? I might be tripping.
It could have been.
It's many a Mary in a story.
In a Dr. Seuss books. But to answer your question, how, and I guess I would say a similarity with your story, Jazz, is I grew up painting, right? You know.
Why did I feel like an earthquake? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No worries.
We in California.
Okay. We are. And I was just one of those kids that never stopped. And as a child also, especially, I was kind of shy. And so I was able to communicate through artwork, through my paintings, and express, you know, a lot of the things that I wanted to say, but, you know, I had trouble communicating with my peers or my family. And so from a very young age, art was introduced to me as also a form of therapy as well. I learned to communicate with the world around me through the images that I could, you know, put to canvas. And as I got older, that sort of evolved. My process definitely, you know, I picked up tricks and skills, and that impacted my work. But I would say my first breakthrough with painting came when I was in college. I was probably about 24. And I had just gone through, you know, a really rough period of, you know, of my life. And I had stopped painting for a few years, but during that period, I'm like, you know, I just gotta get it out.
Life will make you do that.
I just gotta get it out.
Literally gets like that.
Yeah. So I picked up painting again, and it felt like I had come back to an old relationship, but it felt new again. And it felt like so much more life had been breathed, you know, into that aspect of me. And so from then I, you know, really focused on doing more like portraits, more expressive paintings, and I just would do it in my spare time, you know. Still held in my 9-to-5, you know, job and grind, and in the evenings I'd come home, and that was sort of like, you know, my getaway.
Yeah.
Up until last year,
Had to switch it up.
Yeah, I had to switch it up. I came to the realization that the work that I was doing wasn't in alignment with my true passion, and that is, you know, being an artist and being a painter. And so I started to think of ways, well, how can I take, you know, what I love to do and be able to sustain myself with it, and not have to feel like I'm clocking in and, you know, clocking out of my life to clock into someone else's, you know, matrix. And so, I kind of took a leap of faith. An opportunity presented itself, and I got tapped in with a mentor who grew up with my mom in South Central, actually. So that was a really cool connection to have, to fall back on. And he's my big homie now.
Big homie.
Big Mike.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out Big Mike. He really taught me the ins and outs of the business, painting homes, which is something that was completely foreign to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I've painted an apartment one time. Never again.
It's a lot of work.
Never again.
It's a lot of work. But that's, you know, through that experience, being his apprentice, I really learned that, okay, painting is something that it's like I was put on this earth to paint. And I came to that realization, which was also very powerful and was a motivating and driving force behind me starting my own company, where I paint homes now.
Which is called?
Black Lotus Painting Company. Thank you. It's my baby. And it's just been the most rewarding journey. So for me, painting has been a lot of things to me at different points in my life. But it's always been a part of who I am. And when I started to really claim that for myself, I started to see more possibilities open up and more opportunities, you know, that are in alignment with painting.
Yeah.
To now where I'm fully sustainable, you know, for myself and fully independent with myself. Just for
Black
Congrats.
woman.
Congrats.
Thank you. Look, it's a journey.
Yes.
It's a blessed one. So
Everything's a journey.
yeah.
Congratulations for, you know, the
Ew.
it definitely, like, it's funny how when you said, like, kind of after that stage in your life, that's when, like, kind of figured all that out. It's like once you start following your passions, things kind of start presenting themselves and opportunities kind of start falling into place.
Yes.
Supposed to be doing this. He was doing all this other stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
He was wondering why, like, shit wasn't working out.
Yeah, but now you paying attention.
Right.
You're tired of the other shit.
Right.
Now you see.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Now it revealed itself to you, you know.
Yeah.
So when you look at art, right? Like, I always thought that word is like so subjective or objective, whatever. One of them if words.
You know.
But, like, I feel like anybody can make art, but only, like, the looker can define it. So I guess my question for both of you is, like, when you see, like, what makes something art? Like, what's the difference from seeing something and it's like art, or this is just a random thing? You know, like, what makes it different?
I feel like that's a loaded question because I get inspired by literally everything. I feel like what makes something art is honestly the intention that was behind it. Even if, like, you know, let's say you created something and then I look at it and I'm just like, okay, you literally just scribbled on this paper.
Right.
Like, what are you doing? But you never know, like, that scribble could literally be something extremely significant in your own life. Like, that could be a scribble your baby made when he was like 1 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like, art is subjective or objective, one of them active words. And yeah, I feel like art is the intention behind it from the creator themselves. Like, even if you ain't never picked up a paintbrush or a pencil to draw something, or a pen, you know what I'm saying, color, marker, pencil, whatever, and this is your first time, even, you know what I'm saying, like, even little things like that, if you had an intention behind whatever it is that you wanted to put down just to express yourself, like, that's what makes that art. And I feel like a lot of times people look at even abstract art and just, like, don't feel like struck by it, which is fine.
It ain't for you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not for you.
Everything ain't for everybody to get.
It's not. And, like, even to call something like, oh, that's not art, that's just a bunch of bullshit.
I feel like you can never say that.
Like, how you gonna say that this isn't art?
Because somebody put their time and passion.
Time and effort, passion. And especially when you see it in places like a gallery, museum, you know what I'm saying? Even if it isn't in that place, even if it's just like a big mural, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's hanging in somebody's house. The looker, you know, the consumers should be a lot more mindful when it comes to deciding what it is that they feel is or isn't art. Because it's a difference between something being a fact and something being just the way you feel about it, you know?
Opinion.
Yeah. You know
Very true. People are allowed to have opinions.
Definitely.
You can't throw facts on art.
At all.
You can't throw
literally
facts on creative things.
And that's the beauty of art.
Yeah.
That's why art is so necessary. That's why art is so important.
It's just undefined.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and art, by nature is political
Mm-hmm.
because of that reason, because it really has the ability to transcend all of the, boundaries that we put on, existence as,
Right.
as we perceive it.
Yeah.
So our perception of something is very much subjective to our life experience, right? If something doesn't resonate with you, and I'm speaking of art, like specifically here, if it doesn't resonate with you, like you said before, it's not for you, but that doesn't
make
doesn't
it
make
less
it
what it is.
right.
Yeah. If anything, it makes it more controversial, and it's then becomes a point for conversation.
Mhm.
Why doesn't it resonate with you?
Yeah.
Right.
We can start to ask other questions
Yeah.
when we start to, say, oh, that doesn't,
Right.
it
And
doesn't
then
resonate.
some people don't factor in that maybe that was the intention. Maybe
Mhm.
the intention was to get you to question what you're
Yes.
looking
Exactly. You know what? Blue,
at.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes, like, under his post, I'll see people ask him, like, what does this mean? You know what I'm saying? What's the meaning behind this? And then he'll ask them back, like, what does it mean to you?
Right.
Mhm.
But as an artist, like, some people might take that question as, like, you being, like, catty or, like, petty or coming at somebody, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, what this means to me, you might not be able to relate with, or you might disagree. Like, how could that mean something, even though I literally just said, this is what this means to me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not me. And if you can't understand it, then it's totally fine. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's an extremely important question to ask. Like, what does this look like to you? What does this mean to you? Because I could paint a bird and you could think it was a rock.
Right. Everybody's gonna, like, the beauty of like the way we perceive images is like we tie like memories to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like all an artist can do is give you a snapshot of their emotion.
Yeah.
So like whether with music or whatever medium you use, but from that snapshot, it's up to you to feel whatever you're gonna feel from it. It could mean the world to somebody. It could somebody else could think this is the dumbest thing ever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That don't make it any less.
Oh my gosh. Sorry. What you said just reminded me.
What?
Okay, so I have this not painting, it's like a sketch.
Mm.
And I drew my vagina
Mhm.
and I posted it, and someone was like, how is this art? What makes this art? The fact that I sat there and did it. That's what
And the
makes
fact
that
I
art.
decided that it was art.
Like, why can't it just be a drawing of something? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, what if I just wanted to replicate what my own vagina looks like, so I get like a better view of what I actually look like down there? You know what I'm saying? Like, why it gotta be art? Why can't it just be me just sharing this with you?
Right.
Oh, that's gross, and okay, that's
And
fine.
That's your opinion.
It's
And that's
interesting how
okay.
projections come when the misunderstanding.
And it was a man saying this, like.
It's always most times it's men that'll kind of project the whole idea, especially like with something that like could be perceived as sexual.
Mm-hmm.
It's always the man that's like, no, this is risky.
Yeah,
This,
yeah.
or
Wait,
risque.
Can
or
we get
whatever.
into that for a minute though? Because I read this tweet and it was pretty much like, who decided to sexualize ass and titties? And I was just like, bro, who did decide to sexualize ass and titties? Because these are literally
Men decided to sexualize.
yo,
ass
and it's
titties.
so
we
crazy.
so you think about like as a child, or so when most men are growing up, no matter what they turn out, like however like they turn out in the end, because everyone isn't straight or whatever, but like when most men are raised, it's like everybody's asking you, where your girlfriend at? Did you see that? Did you see this? You looking at movies, like you got your father looking at titties. You got your, you got all this happening.
Yeah.
And then like, as you're growing up, it's like all the guys get together and it's like,
yeah, they talk
titties,
about that shit.
ass,
Yeah.
this and that. So then as you're growing up, that's like you're lusting over these things, and then like you're making it about that. every time you see it.
And that's
That doesn't justify
accurate, and it's extremely valid. But even when it comes to like, you know, putting forth those images in art, like for it to automatically be like, oh, this is sexual, this is meant to arouse. Like, no.
Yeah, it's not.
You
it's not
look
always
at this shit
right.
on your body or another person's body all the time. Like,
Right.
I would be so bold to say that it seems to me to be a Western
It is
problem.
It is.
You know, I feel like in Western society we tend to have so many taboos around sex that from a young age it becomes something that's it's like you know, you desire what you can't have, right? And because sex has been deemed as taboo, you know, it's like, oh, we don't talk about that. We don't look at these parts of the body. We, you know, it becomes like, okay, well, if this is something that I'm not supposed to do, now I want to do it more, right? Yeah. And then you start to get excited when you get to see something that you can't.
And then you're told you're supposed to be excited.
Yeah. Exactly.
Then you watch movies, you see videos, and it's like, I'm not supposed to look at that, but
my goodness,
I'm seeing it everywhere, and you're telling me that this is what I'm supposed to like. Yeah. So, like, of course, I'm gonna look at it. You know, but like it don't gotta be that. You know, like there's you can definitely have. I feel like it's like there's no reason that like men can be topless and women can't be like it doesn't have to be a sexual thing, but it's instantly like you trying to get attention, you trying to do this and that, and it's like no, it might have not felt like wearing a shirt. Like it don't gotta be about that. Like you know, you don't gotta make it that. But people make it that.
Unfortunately.
Often.
Too often.
And then also, like, a lot of men are in charge of, like, a lot of marketing stuff and all this stuff. Yeah. So, like, they push the narratives and try to shut down anything that doesn't fit inside of those narratives. You know? Yeah. That's the way that it be. Right.
It keeps the machine working.
Right. It's hard to change a machine. It's hard to change any machine without stopping it. You know, like
take it apart piece by piece.
Right, but then it'll be down. Then there'll be downtime, and people not ready for downtime. People not ready for a shift or like the in between. You know, I kind of feel like as society we going through an in between, like a forward shift. Which is great, but like there's still that battle.
Yeah, the pendulum is swinging.
So so upon the decision to be an artist or make art, not how important. So there's a need for every artist to like stand out, right? How do you know what is that quality in your own art? And then how do you market that?
It was tough finding that at first until I really realized like I do that naturally and I never really know. I literally never know. Like I know when I love something, but I don't know when other people are going to love this as much as I love it. Right. And you know, like I started doing paint pours, not recently, but I just got back into doing it. Cause the first time I did it.
What's that?
Oh, the paint pour. So it's just
paint pours.
Yeah, paint pour. Yeah,
board.
Just get a paint board.
I heard paint board.
Yeah.
My bad. Paint pours, liquid art. So you know, you get like a liquid art medium. So I mean, like you can make that yourself, glue and water, and then you get a paint down to however many colors you want and pour it on the canvas, and you know just swish it around and let it make its own design.
That sounds relaxing.
And that's like one of my favorite things to do, like outside of doing portraits, outside of like abstract art. That's one of my favorite things to do because I have little to no control over it. Like I'm controlling like where on the canvas it goes, but as far as like the designs and how things will curve in between certain colors. Like if I have 3 shades of brown, this dark brown is going to curve differently around this light and this, this medium brown. And I think if anything, that's kind of like what stands out a lot more, especially like recording your processes. Definitely like is a very good, I guess, marketing tool to record your process and then post it, because people are always like very curious as to how like something works, or how did you do this, and like what this like my biggest question when I see artists go live on their Instagrams: where did you get your art supplies? Like, it matters. It doesn't matter. It's how you control it. Like,
what kind of paint is it?
Literally,
you got something that I don't got.
You got something
my
that
shit
I
not
don't
working
got.
that way.
Yeah. And it's not. It's literally
It's
in the flick of the wrist. Like, that's all it is. So, I think when I know, it was when it comes from me first. Like, do I really like this for real? No, I literally love this. Okay,
that's the ultimate question.
Yeah, like, do I love this? Because my thing with a lot of things is like, if I love it, I think I know for sure other people are going to love it. Like, I feel like I have pretty good judgment when it comes to creativity and art and stuff like that. Like, I love it, you're definitely going to love it. So here you go.
Word. For me, I feel like this is a really interesting question to answer at this point in my journey, because I don't really have the desire to sell my canvas paintings, my more artsy work at this time, because as I said before, a lot of my work it is very emotional.
Oh, they become your babies.
Yes, they become your babies. And furthermore, I've worked through a lot of pain with some of my paintings, and so to put that out to the public, I don't want to have that conversation. I don't want people to give their feedback. I don't care. It's for me, and as an artist, I definitely feel the pressure to, share my work. Well, what have you been working on? Have you been working on any? How can you really call yourself a painter? And I'm like, for me, it's such a, because this is something that I'm passionate about. It's something that's, those conversations really most of the time just go over my head, because I do what I do because I want to. My process, whether or not it makes sense, to anybody, is,
it's so
not
yours.
really
that's such a foreign concept to a lot of people. It's like, well, you do what you want.
I don't want to.
Right.
And I've been blessed to be in a position where now I have an avenue where I can make money and market my business and the service that I provide in painting homes, and have that sustain me, and still keep the artsy part, private for as long as I need to, feel right about sharing that. I do eventually want to share them, but in due time and when I'm ready, I feel like that's the most authentic way that I can do that. But in terms of Black Lotus, it's because I'm working in communities that, are my home, have been my home for my entire life. I paint homes in Lamar Park. I paint homes in View Park, Inglewood, Hawthorne, Compton, and that's my way to give back. That's my way of, putting my mark on my city. And, also, I always say that it's a self-determination project. For me, painting in that way has become very political, because this arena that I'm in now has been historically predominantly white male. And
very true.
Even when I work in the studios, I'm one of, two, one of three. And this is how it's been, for a long time. So with me coming in as a Black woman, I do market my business as Black owned, Black woman owned, because that's something that's, I want to say, like, I'm here. Okay, this is what I'm about. And people, it brings me more business than it turns away. because people in, you know, our community and the Black community in LA, they want to see,
Yeah, they
you know,
want
the youth
that.
come up and take hold of these professions and these, you know, that our, you know, our big homies, you know, came up doing, you know. It's been really cool to be tapped in with the painter community, the Black painter community in LA, because, you know, a lot of these men have been out here for decades and they've had to deal with, you know, a lot of things. They've had to overcome a lot of racism. And to be a young sister coming up, they like, all right, for sure. Like, we gonna show you everything we know, so you can, you know, take the baton and keep it pushing forward, because there's a lot of money to be made. And, you know, one of the things that really, you know, opened my eyes to how much money could actually be made painting. Man, when you drive around, just drive around, okay? And pick out things that have paint on them.
Everything need to be painted.
Everything needs to be painted.
No, people,
literally everything.
People be focusing on the wrong stuff.
Yeah,
For real.
everything. Storefronts, businesses, furniture. I'm learning how to work with metal, how to patina steel and get different colorations, you know, via a chemical process. I'm learning how to spray. I have, you know, friends in the studios that are willing to teach me how to paint cars. Like, it. Look, okay,
Man,
we gonna
here.
have, what's that? Pit my rocks.
Candy paint on the lip.
New generation, you know, don't play with me. But and to that end, I feel like this renewed sense of, you know, just conviction in what I do as a painter. You know, because before I thought the only avenue that I had was to sell, you know, my paintings, my canvas paintings, which were so personal to me, and I was just, you know, kind of freaking out, like, how do I market this? Everyone's telling me I need to learn how to market my paintings. How do I inspire? Like, what? And I, you know, I find, you know, comfort in that I don't necessarily have to do that if I don't want to. But I can. And I can say a lot for the courage that it takes for an artist to share their work, you know, because that's something that hasn't been easy for me to do as an artist. So when I see artists that do that, I'm like, wow, like they figured it out, you know. But you know, like I say, all in due time, and you know, everyone's journey is
everyone's journey is different.
And
that's definitely a real thin line to walk as an artist. Like all these works are vulnerable at all times. And like you were saying, do I want to have that conversation? Like you open it up for conversation if you put it out, like whether you want that or not. You know, you can't really control people, and it does take a lot of courage to just be like, all right, well, I went through this. There's pain, there's love, there's all this stuff in this piece or in these pieces, and now I'm putting this out for you to say stuff about. That's a lot of people that don't do creative things. That's like you know, like I wouldn't wish that on nobody. Like that's you just ask him for inviting negative opinions in sometimes, because some people gonna have negative opinions. You know,
sometimes it's stuff like that. Like you have to have, like, right before you put it out there, like you just have to shut down like a certain part of you. Like okay, I know people are going to say stupid shit about what, like, you know, my art piece. I know people are going to be asking me dumbass questions about my art piece. Let me just shut down my emotions and then just open myself up, you know what I'm saying, like, to just being neutral about everything that's about to come my way, because I know, like, I'm going to need to deal with it.
And then most times, like, people get like caught up focusing on one negative comment. You might have got like multiple positive comments, you know. And it's not worth it. Like, you know, you don't got to give your energy to that kind of stuff. But it definitely does take a lot. I still don't like painting. Y'all can't convince me to like painting, but it's great that y'all like it.
I'm gonna give you some Floetrol and a canvas and some
I've
colors.
been having to paint for school. That shit is weird.
Man,
I don't like doing creative stuff.
I hated painting for school.
Having, you know, like having like a task to do.
Yeah.
Like, what the
Oh,
fuck?
Having a
Guys
task
used
to
to-
attach it.
Yeah,
It was
like,
a bit of a test.
Do this way. I was like, just let me get to the end result.
Do it how I want.
And it's ugly that way.
Just tell me what
anyway.
color to use and grade it. don't tell me what technique. I don't want to use none of that shit. But yeah, I do think that painting is beautiful. Paint and just like liquid medium in general is really beautiful.
I really love getting dirty.
It's
Like,
so
that's my
hard to
favorite
control.
part.
Really?
Can we talk about this? Can we talk about this for a minute?
It just makes me feel so good. I don't know why, and
That
like
sound
I'm
like
doing
some kink
something.
shit.
There's no better feeling for me than, you know, when I'm in my painter's clothes, okay, like I'm down there, like in the water, in the paint, in the mud, you know, working with houses, you deal with a lot of different mediums apart from paint. You know, I'm in 40-minute, okay, which is like it's a compound that you use to fill cracks and holes.
Is it like
stuff
concrete-ish?
Kinda,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm in there working with that. I'm hacking away with my hammer, using my tools to like break nails out of walls and stuff. And it's, you know, work that traditionally would, you know, say like, oh, this is a man's work, right? But as a woman, I feel so empowered and strong
that you can do this.
Yeah.
I can do this
And still maintain your femininity.
exactly.
Very true. A lot of people think that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, and what? Yes.
Right.
No, I don't need you to carry my ladder. I got this.
Okay. Or I
Don't
can
need
get
your
ready
help.
in this moment, and when I'm done with this job, I'm finna go get my nails done and do my hair.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, people be acting like you can't do these
Like, you
things
can't
if
do
you're
both,
into.
like-
Yeah. Like, that's just what I like. I could like what I won't like.
Thank
And,
you.
like,
and
my-
still be fabulous.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. Like my process with painting.
You mad that you don't look good doing it. That's the point. You're trying to take it out on me, projecting your negative shit on
Like,
me.
you hoes could never, but I can.
Right.
I'm not you hoes.
Exactly. People only say negative stuff when they mad.
Yeah. Like why can't you?
It's like, oh, I clearly made you feel a certain type of way. Like, you should applaud. That's better than a compliment.
I really wish more people could understand like when something's just not for them. Like, okay, that's not for me. I don't agree with this, but you know that's you.
Right,
I
do your
get it.
thing.
I'm just gonna be over here with my opinions, like. And I really feel like a lot of people can do that because I've even been in spaces where like, you know what, I don't like that, but that's not my situation to speak up on. I understand that this person or entity decides to live their life this way. That's you. This is what makes you happy. I'm gonna be over here though, like.
Right.
that's really the key to peace.
Yeah.
You know, that's really the key to inner peace. If it don't vibe with your flow, then, you know,
Yeah, you don't gotta.
just let it flow past.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't gotta stoop to nobody's level or adjust your life or adjust your energy to fit with what somebody else doing. It always go wrong. Anytime you pivot that much from what you want, it always go wrong. You know, you don't need to be doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no.
So what do y'all look for when, like, since you're both creative people, you know, what do you look for in, like, for me, it's more about music, but like, and you can answer this related to music or related to any kind of art, any kind of medium of art. What do you look for? How do you look for emotion? Do you look for like a specific type of emotion?
When creating or
When perceiving someone else's creation or listening to someone else's creation, you know, or whatever. What do you look to get out of it?
Substance.
Mm.
Really.
Yeah.
Even if it's yeah, literally just substance. I'm gonna answer both because as much as I love art and painting and stuff, I equally love music maybe a little bit more. But when I'm, like consuming, viewing a painting, I just look at it for what it is first, instead of trying to attach like what makes sense to me first to this. Like, is there something in my head that I can relate to that would make it easier to accept this painting the way it is? Like, that's not how I view that. And it could literally be a painting of anything, because I understand that people have their own modes and their own reasons for doing stuff. But with music, of course, still substance, but also like, is it well put together? Like, is this a well constructed song? Even if it's like, and not to say like this artist is like less than, or like not a good artist. Like, even if it's like Baby Keem or Baby Mother, which I love so much. Like, so much.
Keem be hitting some pockets.
Yo, he really do.
You could see the influence, and sometimes it's not about lyrics. Sometimes it's about like the approach and the emotion and the direction.
Like, Keem isn't my most favorite lyricist. However, like, the way he approaches his sound and his music, even certain songs, is like, I can definitely respect that. You wasn't really saying much here, but I fuck with that. Like just the way you did that. And even with like Baby Mother as well, both of them, like from their beat choices to like the mixing, because I've been around like musicians my entire life. Like, I know when something is mixed terribly, like, so yeah, like I could have done that better. Like, even in, what is it, GarageBand, bro, I could have did that. Like, what the heck? And yeah, like, even with their music, Baby Mother, she makes me feel like a bad bitch. Like, I maybe wouldn't necessarily, when it comes to like female rap, like it's a different avenue with her style, but I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I also like artists like Iman Europe or like Il Camille, who are, like, they have a certain lane and they're not, talking about the stuff that Baby Mother talks about, like, fucking your baby daddy and stuff like that, and, being a bad bitch and a badder bitch than other bitches, which is also still fine. Like, I don't put that down either. But, I understand that for me, there's like a time and space. Like, what is it that my spirit really wants to.
Yeah, and you different people at different times.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do I want to be a badass bitch today? Like, am I fuck this nigga right now, or am I chilling right now?
That's crazy. That's crazy that you look at Baby Mother music like that. I don't really perceive her like I know that that's what she's saying, but like the way that I look at her music, like, I got so much respect for her because like of. Like, with being from the South, she's capturing that sound so perfectly that it it sound like it should have been released at a whole different time. And she's upped it, like she fit in with all the top people from that area, and like she's just saying the same shit the niggas was saying.
So good at it, and I feel like she's like, I like what she's saying more than I like it when a man is saying, like, even if it's
because a lot of this stuff flat out sounds cooler when a woman is saying it.
High key. And again, like, it just makes me feel like a badass bitch. Like,
people was already thinking the same stuff. Like, it's already
literally,
people that
that's
was
why, because I'm already thinking the same thing. I just don't want to like do these same things or let it be known that I'm accepting of these same things, because there's the whole pressure about being a woman and being ladylike and being feminine and stuff like that.
Just because people saying stuff in a song don't necessarily mean that they actually doing that.
But I mean, it does make you feel good to, like, be in that vibe for a little minute. Like,
step into that world.
It's really, this is kind of breaking off into a whole different subject.
That's fine.
But like with church, for example.
Mm.
You know, like when you're walking into
Yeah.
church, they have they have the music playing to, you know, like settle your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like very spirit settling music. They're not playing secular music because they're very specific about what it is that they let into their spirits. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like just setting up the vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like when picking out what it is that you want to intake for maybe just this hour, the entire day, like I can listen to that bitch for 24 hours straight and not get tired. Like I love her so much. And yeah, it's just certain energies that you need to feel or like become in a certain type of way.
Absolutely.
And I feel like her music definitely sets like the correct vibe. Because I remember I was like, what was this in like 2020? I was sad as fuck about some situation I was going through.
We be sad.
With some, you know what I'm saying? Niggas be sad and shit. Niggas be heartbroken.
Right.
And I think that's when I actually like started listening to her music, because I would like see her name Pink Seafood. Like he, like, you know, I know they're like
he introduced me to a lot of he put me on to a lot of people.
Like his music taste and his respect for for black people in general is
one of the most genuine people I've ever met. Like one of the most like
literally.
You can't be mad. You can't be mad about it. You can't be mad about
That
it.
nigga's amazing.
Like I've even seen him mad. I can't even be mad around him being mad.
Like, and I would see him like you know, like tweet about her music and stuff like that. I was like, I don't know who that is, but maybe I need to start listening. And I think I had listened to one of her songs one day, and I was like, okay. And then I had started listening to more. I was like, oh,
okay.
You said fuck that nigga. Okay. I can get with that. I'm all heartbroken and shit. I'm like, not no more.
Right. And that's a beautiful gift that music gives us. Like a lot of artists don't think about that as they make it, but like as corny as it sounds to say, like it's the soundtrack to our lives. You know?
Literally, like
didn't somebody make a song called that?
To our, was it Kid Cudi? Soundtrack to
yeah, Kid Cudi made a song, something like that. Yeah.
I think about that a lot.
I was thinking about a whole different song, and it ain't even called the soundtrack. Damn, I'm way off.
That's for real though. When I'm in my bag, I want to listen to Young and May. I want to listen to Nipsey.
Cause you want to get up out of that, like that hole and that like shit that amps you up, like really gets you there and quicker than it would if you was just on some calm, mellow shit.
Yeah, calm stuff can't do that to you. Then you got that.
Like, nigga, I want to fight right now. Like,
we gonna react to sound. Shout out to the doctor, the DRE, Mr. Beats.
I was crying 5 minutes ago, but this beat, like, tears.
Mr. Too Small Shirt all the time. Shout out to Dr. Dre's talent. No shout out to Dr. Dre's shirts.
Or his size choices.
Yeah, you know. Press them buttons, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Great at that. Make them headphones. Make them business deals. You know, do your thing.
You know, the muscle growth is cool.
Right. Yeah, people be getting buff.
You grew out of that.
Get buff. Turn into the Hulk. Niggas be getting beyond buff.
Yo, and I don't get it. Like,
hey, do what you like. Maybe he like working out as much as he like making music.
You know, which is cool.
You know,
I just can't get past the tight shirts.
Hey, it ain't for you.
Tight shirts
it ain't for you to get it.
Like,
So what you look for in art or music?
Whenever I sit down to make a piece, I always have a question in mind. And it could be any question. I like to ask things of myself. I like to, delve into my own thoughts. And based off of where that takes me, I'll paint what I see in my mind. So when I can look at a piece and feel that the question has been answered, that's when I know that the piece is done. if I feel like there's still something left to be said, there's still something left to be shown, I'll keep working until I feel that, okay, and I'll reach that in through, my color choice. I definitely believe that different colors evoke different emotions,
Very
have
true.
different feelings. I work with texture a lot. I work even with scents too. I try to add as many sensory elements.
I never
to
thought
each
about
piece.
like scent in art form.
Yeah, it adds a different layer, and I came up, I started to think about how I can make my pieces as sensory as possible to really, communicate with the viewer in a better way, in a more full sense, what I'm feeling as an artist, and with my intention behind the piece. And so, yeah, that's what I would say. I ask questions of myself. I push myself. If I feel that I've done something before, I'll start to get, I'll maybe get like a little fresh, like, it just won't feel right. I feel like I've seen it already, and I, want to go a different route. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll incorporate the same elements, but, take it a step further, or, take a step back and, pull something away from the painting as well. I also work in waves, I would say, like with each painting there's different stages. There's different stages. There's the mapping out part, where I'll draw on, I'll sort of draw the framework of what I initially see, but based on the path that, where the path takes me, that might look completely different by the second stage.
Might come out different.
Yeah, I definitely paint in layers too. So each layer I'll try to figure out ways to add more depth if I'm dealing with something that's more emotional.
Mm-hmm.
How deep can I go with just the canvas? Yeah.
There was something you said earlier, and this is kind of to an earlier topic, just about painting being therapy. Mm-hmm. That's kind of the same reason that I make music. Mostly just therapeutic. Once it's out, I don't really care if people listen to it or what people think about it or anything like that. It's just I didn't say what I said. Now I'm over the situation, and it's the only way that I can get over stuff. I gotta talk about it. So every song that I write I'm gonna be talking about something that I didn't been through, for better or for worse. I definitely have found myself in situations where I speak into existence something extremely negative. Just because as an artist, I think you make better work in pain. For sure. And that's hard to deal with. Knowing that being in pain is always going to bring inspiration, but you obviously don't want to.
It's you just want to get it out. I just want to feel better again, and this is what's going to do that.
Right, but then you don't want to put yourself in that situation to do that. But I will not on purpose put myself into that situation, but then I'll write a song or something and not about what I'm going through, and then it ends up being that, and it's dang, maybe I shouldn't have made that song. Maybe I shouldn't speak certain things so that they, there's a lot of power in the words that you choose. So being more mindful of that is definitely something that I'm working on. I don't want to be going through stuff. Yeah. And I done made enough emotional ass music. Tired of making emotional music.
Honestly, I was listening to Boyfriend the other day, and I was like, that's exactly how I feel. What the fuck? Why can't you love on me
fuck that portion of my life.
But then I was like, oh my gosh. I was listening to the lyrics, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was in an open relationship, and it's dang, I'm watching you fall in love with this person. Goddamn, treat me like that. Yeah. One time.
I was really listening to the lyrics. I was like, oh, my poor friend. It's going to be okay.
But then I also got to deal with, my mom could go listen to that song. She ain't never asked me no questions about nothing I made, but like I'm hoping that she never do. Just cause like and then I've been like putting little things in, just to see if she gonna ask like about it. Just cause like I'll like talk about stuff related to her. I was like, oh, you ain't hear that, you ain't listen, you clearly ain't check it out. So you know, I definitely like, and this is like off topic and shit. I definitely addressed like a divorce that like my mom and my dad went through, and like talked about something that literally only she would know. I do a lot of that. Like for the people that the songs are about, you gonna know that the song is about you. I'm not gonna say your name. I ain't gonna say nobody's name, but like you gonna feel it. If I was hurting, you gonna feel the pain. I'm gonna make you feel how I feel.
That's so crazy. I've never met another artist that admitted like they throw, I guess you can call them subliminals, but it's not really subliminal, nigga. You know what I'm talking about. But like that throw subliminals out there in their artwork, because I literally do and have done this.
Yeah, and like the intention isn't like negative. It's just like I if you made me feel a certain type of way, or if your action made me feel, I want you to feel, or at least know how I felt.
Yep.
And then you got to deal with that after that. You know, whether you care or not, that's up to you.
That's
but
totally
now
fine.
that you know,
You gonna know, and that makes me feel better.
yeah. do y'all fuck with Faye Webster? She has a song called Johnny, and like the lyrics are, Johnny, did you ever love me? Johnny, help me figure it out. And then like later in the song, it's like, this wasn't supposed to be a love song, but I guess it is now. And like I really like how in that song, after she gets to that part, it never goes back to anything. It's just like, I hope you hear this song and it makes you cry the way that I did. And like she just keeps repeating the same thing, and like there's all these horns, and it's just a really beautiful song. And I like when people do that.
Oh my God! Speaking of, you listen to Kia, right? So the song.
That's how you pronounce her name?
Is it?
I don't know. I've been trying to figure.
I think so.
With the big A at the end.
Yeah. Big A,
Oh,
Kia,
shit.
yeah. That's how my homegirl pronounces
I ain't
it.
even
It's
attempt.
TV
I was
at her
just like,
shows
this
all
shit
the
hard.
time. Like they homegirls. But the song called "I Thought There Was One Wound in this house, but there's two."
Them titles on that project.
Yo, she said, "Why won't you love me? I'm so damn easy to love." And then she said, "I'm so damn easy to love. I'm easy to trust. I know that reason is tough to buck with. You don't love me because I'm so easy to love, and that's what makes it hard to you. I'm easy for you to trust me, and that's also
Some
what
people
makes it hard.
not ready for that.
They're not ready to.
People
just
think
have
that they
mellow,
want to be
healthy-
in relationships. Everybody, people just don't want to be alone.
Accustomed to toxicity. So then when you don't have it in your space, and it's like,
It's weird. It's
like,
like,
what you
what's
doing?
wrong with you? I'm gonna be finding something. Like, you gonna fuck up. Then you create a whole world in your head.
I've done that as well.
I feel like people,
victim of that.
you know, just this is kind of like a tangent, but you brought it up, so I'm
Hey.
gonna go with it. To that end too, and like as an artist, I wrestle with that feeling sometimes of me like seeking out situations that I know may evoke a certain emotion. You know, like subconsciously, it's like, I wonder what this feels like, so I like put myself in position.
But don't you think you've had
That
like
will,
small
like, put
samples
me
of it
back.
before though? Like just
Yeah,
small
it's like,
samples.
Like
Before in your life, before you sat in front and was like, I wonder what this is like. Don't like, because I don't feel like we would be able to really convey these things on canvas or whatever it is, you know, your medium of choice, if you hadn't had like even just a small tiny sample, whether it happened to you or you saw it happen to someone else.
Absolutely. And that recognition, it's like, okay, it's like a planting of a seed, right? Once the seed is planted, it's like, who knows what that can grow into.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like, you know, and I have to, you know, catch myself sometimes too, because you can put yourself down a rabbit hole of like, wait, how did I get?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This isn't
Very
where
true.
this isn't where I imagined.
But
I'd end
your
up.
ass was curious, huh?
Yes, right?
You wanted to
know, now
find
you do.
out.
And now you do. But that to me too is part of the excitement that comes with being a creative. Is being able to weave in and out of those sort of like social situations and express, like, not only like be in that situation, take it in and process it, but also regurgitate it in a way that makes sense to you and effectually is you chronicling that point in time of your history, right? You're in essence preserving those emotions too.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the
This is one of the
yeah.
this is one of the like few situations where like you can immortalize yourself, like through art. You can like people that don't make art, once you feel something, that's that. But like if you decide to express that in any form, like you're cementing that in time. And I think that's a really cool thing, for lack of better words. Do either of you have a lighter? Look at you with the triangle purse, or excuse me, pyramid, two different shapes.
I don't believe I have a lighter.
No, I'm looking at you, no lighter.
Boo, no lighter.
No lighter. Disappointment. Got my hopes up. I'll be right back.
Weird.
That's your sticker.
Yes. This mine.
You got a sticker on your sticker.
A sticker.
Artists are alchemists
High
They
key.
are.
too, for sure.
One of the rare situations where like you have the ability to change anything. You could change your emotion, you can change your situation, you can paint a whole different situation, or audibly put yourself into a whole different situation.
Yeah. You have a song. You're on a song with JQ
To
the Stunt. Now, that's my favorite song. That's my favorite collab with you two. Mostly because it's one of the first ones that I heard. But you have this line.
I don't remember that verse at all.
Yeah. You say,
believe
I
it
stay
too.
inside and paint the scenery the world presents me. I light a joint and let it burn itself.
That's what you was talking about when you said that. I was like, I knew I said that. I wouldn't win. Or on what song?
Yeah. And when I heard that, as a painter, right? I hadn't met you, or maybe I had met you once at this point. But I was like, oh, Hal gets it. Because that's really how I work, I'm very much a solitary person by nature. I've always been that way since I was a child. But really, like, my creative world is, like, where I feel most myself, most free, most, authentic in my meat sack of a body, right? My meat person.
Humans are weird.
Like,
Just soul casing.
When you think about bodies are
They're
weird.
weird.
They're so
Bro.
strange.
I think that's the
I'm
reason.
surprised they work.
I think that's the reason I was so confused about, like, how did niggas come to sexualize this shit? This is weird.
We're literally like a nervous system floating around within
and
a
then
thing that we've created.
And then feet. People be sexualizing feet. Feet are weird.
I like
the
feet,
kink
so I'm not
the kink
I'm
isn't
not,
weird.
I'm not
I respect the kink. I respect the kink. But feet
You
are
and Josh
kind of
bonded over
weird.
that for sure.
Feet-
We feet people.
Nah, like, honestly, I respect the kink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't relate, but I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Look, I think it's a fetish for well kept feet, right?
Yeah. I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very true. But like So my perspective on fetishes or anything in general, it more so is about the person. So like, if you're really, really attracted to that person, I don't care what the fuck you do. Like, I'ma like it. You can do something weird, and then if I ask you to do something weird, don't judge me.
Like, oh, it's a different story. Like, hold on, because this person just told me to put my mouth, but you asking it.
Hey,
all right, let's go.
there's a bunch of stuff that I don't like at all. But if somebody like I was really into asked me, all right.
His face.
All right.
Okay.
If that's what you want, okay.
That is funny.
Oh,
But honestly, that's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it hits different when a person that you like is requesting something.
Imagine somebody that you was really into, like, was in some weird shit. And it's like,
You know what?
I ain't doing that.
Like, I never thought about that before. What's the safety word?
But then you also got to think, like, it might have took them a long time to get comfortable enough with you to even show that side of them to ask you that. So, like, I feel like
intimacy makes it a little sweeter.
yeah, like you if somebody's gonna go through, like, you know, because sex is a taboo thing, intimacy is a taboo thing, even in like relationships where people supposedly know each other like this, can't talk about certain things.
Yeah.
Because once you bring in like pleasure and or are you doing this right? Then it's like you don't like me. It ain't that. It ain't that. It's like it's a conversation that needs to be had, and you should be open to the conversation, so that you know you care about the other person. You know, so you gotta make sure the other person happy.
Yeah.
You can't be sitting there like it's not a one-sided thing. Nothing is one-sided ever. And you should never look at anything as
Which
one-sided.
confuses me when people don't talk during sex. Like, what? You're not gonna check in on me? Like,
You're not gonna ask how I'm doing. You're not gonna ask like,
are you okay? Am I doing this right?
that would be such a weird question. Are you alright? You good?
You gotta make it sound
pause?
attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
Like,
pause with the question, or do you just keep going and just wait for the answer?
like what's that?
It's like, no, I'm not alright.
Okay. So
So
You wanna
wanna
talk
stop?
about it?
Do you want to talk or nah? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it's just like times where you can't do that, but you should be able to.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's nothing wrong with it's like all right, maybe we do need to stop.
Yeah.
And
You know?
what? It is. There's something to be said too when you can have those awkward moments during sex and still be present.
Mhm.
You know, like recalibrate.
Right, because with some people it'll be like, all right, nope, over.
Yeah.
You fucked it up.
right.
That's that, and that may be the last time you ever see that person.
Yo, literally, oh my god, those moments be crazy. Like when you realize, like, do what you did right there. You'll never see me after this.
Wait, what'd you say?
Like those moments, like you know the moment when someone's never going to see you ever again, just based off of what they do, like sexually. Like, okay, yeah, you'll never get this chance with me ever again. Like,
That was it.
Yeah, that's. I guess that's wild.
and then
I've
people
never
don't be
been
all,
in nor put myself in that kind of stuff.
oh, good. It's so uncomfortable.
I could imagine.
It's so uncomfortable. Like, you know, it just based off of how you touching me right now. I don't.
Yeah, and people, speak on that. Like it's people don't understand that like someone's touch could be desirable 1 minute and then not be desirable like the next minute, like based on an action.
Yeah.
And like that's not allowed. You know, like it's like what? Like you just were fine with this a second ago. Like, right, you different right now. Like,
oh, you don't like me. Okay.
I'm not in the mood no more. Like, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
you know,
Boundaries.
that's
Mhm.
hard to understand because insecurities start coming in the way of things like that. Like, okay, you don't want me touching you anymore, which means that you don't like me the same anymore, which means that I'm doing something
Right,
wrong.
and then you start thinking
Yeah.
all these things, and I feel like it's even worse as an artist.
Everything.
All the
All
possible
the
things that you could
that
be
went
thinking,
wrong.
and yeah.
It's like it's like that's where the communication comes into play. But as an artist, a lot of times we communicate through our mediums. So you can't paint a picture for your partner in the moment. You can't like necessarily write a song in the moment.
Damn, now I gotta talk.
So would you? Speaking of that, so if there was that situation, would you be like, as an artist, would you be okay with someone responding about like, all right, well, I can't deal with this. I gotta paint something, and then you can, or I gotta make a song, and then you could, then we could discuss it through that.
Yeah.
But they gotta at least be willing to like say that. Like a lot of people not even like, the problem with artists, like a lot of artists are not willing to even say like, I'm feeling like this. I need to do this to get this out. It's just like, I'm mad. Shut door. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
You also have to have either a partner or people around you, like that support system that knows and understands that side of you. Because you don't have that. You just got a bunch of people around you that don't understand you. Then it's like,
then you start to weigh like the importance of like just having people. Like, it's great to have friends. Do things that you either would like to be surrounded with, or like after a certain age, after a certain point in time, it's like, why the fuck you here?
Yeah.
Like, you here because I value you as a person. Like, make no connection with nobody, like as a friend or like as whatever. Like, if I don't value them as a person, I feel like that's some like teenager shit.
Yeah.
For
or
sure.
like, you can get away with it like throughout your 20s, but like after that, it's like, fucking playing around.
Yeah.
Like, we hanging out, nigga. Like, what the fuck? Like you pull up places to do, it's just like we pulling up to do so, or if I'm pulling up, it's because I just like being around you, and that's fine. Like, but there's a point,
Yeah.
like, so many people doing shit and there ain't no point.
I think relationships can be really good testing grounds for like how we as individuals move through the world and communicate with our peers and with our community.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the Divinity of Union comes into play. And I'm thinking of some, relationship that's high. Yeah, that's higher than a boyfriend girlfriend.
Union.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? The divinity of.
The Divinity of Union. Between two people, or if you're polyamorous, hey, whatever floats your boat too.
Boats floating.
Whatever floats your boat.
Floating, bro. Oh, you got multiple boats.